Boring equals successful. What I found in my entrepreneurial journey, 15 years as a realtor and business owner, is that the more repetitive I could be with a proven system, the more success I would achieve. In other words, I avoided as much as possible being cool, feeling like a star in my own movie, whining and dining clients and being out on the town. I'm a realtor, look at me. Now, I get sucked into that every now and then just as much as anyone else. But what I realized is when I pushed that away and just focused on the boring, repetitive monotony of finding a winning formula, duplicating it, and rinsing and repeating over days, weeks, months, and especially years, that's when I had my biggest breakthroughs. I didn't want to break anything. If my business was working, I just wanted to pour gasoline on the fire. So once I fell on my face the first year and a half, making every mistake in the book, I started to figure out what didn't work, and as a result of that, I discovered what did work. And once I found what worked, I just kept rinsing and repeating. So once I found that perfect buyer consultation that worked with 5 buyers, I was able to make it work with 50 buyers and then 100 buyers. I had a formula. I had a recipe for success. And that buyer consultation was like a well-oiled machine, and it worked incredibly well. After I did about a dozen open houses, I found an open house approach that worked incredibly well. And I would book appointments every single open house that turned into clients. So I did not change a thing. I'd tweak it here and there, but I would keep the same framework, the same approach, the same method. I wanted to find those winning formulas that I could basically rely on. I had those tools in my toolkit that I could just pull out at any given moment and just rinse and repeat and keep them moving forward. Back in the day when I used to door knock, I found a script that worked. It was natural, it was authentic, I felt very comfortable, the right tonality, the right enthusiasm, I hit the right points. And I would just say that thing over and over and over and over to everyone I spoke to. Once I found that right headline formula, if I'm writing a Google ad or a Facebook ad, that right hook, I would use that with every ad. In various neighborhoods, it didn't matter because it was duplicatable. When you go to a McDonald's anywhere in the world, you're pretty much getting the same experience. They're going to address you the same way. There's a formula, there's a process. The burgers are made the same way, the fries. It's a rinse and repeat system. When you go to a Starbucks, you have the same experience, right? It's very formulaic. So we have a tendency as real estate agents and entrepreneurs to be drawn to what's fun, what's exciting, what's sexy, right? I blame it on reality TV, among other things. Social media, Instagram. It's this Instagram culture. We want to be a star in our own movie. For me, it's always been about embracing the mundane, embracing the boring. The boring, repetitive, dull work is typically what generates those quantum leaps, because it's just about understanding the feedback. I like to think of business as a huge feedback mechanism. We try things, we see what works and what doesn't, and we iterate. To me, that's a guaranteed path to success because we're reading the results, right? We're watching the reaction of the market. We're watching how our customers respond to our activities. And once we can optimize and take that feedback and just do more of what works and less of what doesn't, now it keeps us on track. It keeps us moving forward. And we can hit those goals by focusing on what works. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope you got some value out of that video.